Hello guys! This is again Dragon42 together with the SciCraft crew. Hey guys!
Hey.
Ooh. So, today we're all on our own, but nonetheless we have something pretty cool to show you. And yeah, here we are below our end island, like just below the main island. And here's the way to our newest project. Actually there was a minecart missing, so let's get a new one. And right over. That one was actually not intentional. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to get there. You can see the end island disappearing. And our project for today is appearing right in front of us. So, frames are dropping a little bit here, because this is a pretty large thing. Yeah, it's a miraculous little well and kills our FPS, because it's so awesome. No, this is of course not the reason, but... Oops. GG. How did that work? Yeah, so the reason why...
The piston ball didn't work.
Well, that's the first time. Yeah, so we're still on 1.10, but we built a piston bolt here instead of translocators or anything. Obviously, because it's more future-proof. But yeah, what we have here is also something that's hopefully future-proof. Well,
yep.
Until Mojang decides to spoil the fun again. So yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's a huge wheat farm. And this one was mainly built by Jar here. Hey buddy. And yeah, so we have 4 of those towers here. Well, you can barely see how high they are because they go to build limit. And if we step down here and I press F3, you can see we are pretty much at the bottom of the world. So we used all the space we got and we made 4 of those gigantic towers. So let me get in the middle here. Yep, here you can get a rough glimpse of them. So they go all the way up to build limit. I don't think we have to climb up. It's pretty much all the same, constantly repeating. But this stuff produces hell lot of wheat. So somebody wants to turn it on?
Done.
Already starting. So as you can see, the minecarts are spread out a bit. So yeah, they don't start at the same time, because this saves us quite a bit on the number of entities we have at the same time. Because if they would all start at once, well, they would also unload pretty much at the same time. So maybe we can get a quick look in there. So the minecarts are going on this track here and picking up the wheat from the villagers. The inventory of the villagers is completely filled with seeds. Oops, what's happening here? Yeah, so they can't pick up the wheat, can't make bread from it. And then, yeah, we just keep on collecting the wheat with the minecarts. And once they come back here, so each of these elements of these layers has 2 minecarts. Well, technically 4. We have 2 minecarts which are going here until the center point, coming back. And then we have 1 minecart here which empties them. So this one also has a hopper in it. And yeah, we put it out with a dispenser again. With a dropper. To shoot into some water streams. Or some more on top here. And they go towards the storage. Now, maybe Charlie, you want to say how many elements each of these towers has?
Elements.
Like how many layers?
50 layers.
Okay.
Each contains 1 villager.
So we have
4 minecarts.
50 villagers, 50 layers, and
Times
4
4.
times 50 minecarts in each of these towers. So 200 villagers in total and 800 minecarts. That's quite a bit, but it still runs reasonably fast. So our server doesn't completely make it at 20 TPS, but it's pretty close. Like around 16 TPS. While we're
We
running
already
this.
have 3,000 entities.
Yeah, that's also quite a lot. And I think for this 16 not FPS, TPS is a pretty good number. So yeah, as you can see, we have a bunch of item elevators obviously here. standard design by Mango, just a bit squeezed to the side. So if you don't know those, check out Mango's channel. And if you want to know what these 3 monstrosities here are, well, I can also send you over to Mango, because those are some high-speed item filters. So you can hear them clicking here. It's making quite a noise. And what's coming out here is only seeds. So we're not interested in all the seeds that are coming out here. We collected a few of them at some point to send them to an auxiliary storage somewhere on the side. But at the moment, we just sent them off in the void and yeah, remove them that way from the game. Because we only care about the wheat, and that one is stored behind this huge hopper wall. But yeah, we'll take a look at the storage in a second. So yeah, here we're filtering out some seeds with a regular item filter in case something gets missed afterwards. But typically the first one already takes out most of the seeds. The second one, only takes out some of them. It's a bit hard to navigate around, because also my FPS are dropping a bit. And then the entire control circuit here in the middle is actually just to spread out the start of the farm. So as I mentioned, we don't want to have the minecarts unloading their content at the same time, because we get too many entities that way. But yeah, with this contraption here, we basically just split it out, or spread it out, so they arrive at different points, and we distribute the impact on the server a bit. So, I would say, let's head over to storage, which we can access conveniently via this little hub here. So we have a small control panel which also indicates when we shouldn't leave the area. So the reason is that, of course, everything needs to shut down. The minecarts need quite some time to get back to their parking position. And we also want to make sure that the villagers are sort of parked. And for that, maybe you can see it from the hub. We have a little system here on the side. So maybe someone wants to explain that. Mango?
Hmm?
Do you want to explain the
No.
system here on the side with the villagers?
No.
Okay. Then,
Basically, we are using villagers to shut down the farmers.
okay.
They
Yeah,
have
so
a priority to run to the villagers instead of farming.
exactly. So we have a few villagers out there next to a door, which would form a village, and independent villages actually. And so all of our villagers here would actually see it, and they would try to run towards this village instead of farming. It doesn't shut it down completely, but it keeps them from moving around all too much. And as you might be aware, this can cause villagers to disappear or duplicate when they happen to cross a chunk border while we are unloading. So that way we greatly reduce this risk. And yeah, the farm is a bit more stable. So we have one of those towers here on the right hand side, as you can see, and another one on the left hand side. And that's just used to, let's say, shut it down as far as it's reasonably possible. Then what else do we have? We can send some wheat to villagers. So obviously we need a lot of farmers, like we need 200 farmers here. So we couldn't bring them all over, but instead we made a little villager breeder back here. Let me just try to get around.
There's an easy path on the other side.
No, it doesn't matter. That one's also easy enough. So yeah, with a small villager breeder here, just giving them the wheat the farm produces, like the first few villagers produced, basically. And that way we got some additional ones. Oh, there's actually glass here. Oh man, black glass above the void is scary as heck. So yeah, it's a pretty ugly construct and more or less of a makeshift design. It's not meant to be super pretty because, yeah, it's mostly an auxiliary thing, and we just decided to keep it in case we need to replace a villager if it does disappear at some point. So yeah, this is nothing too special, I think. Just the source of all the villagers we needed.
The farmer storage was quite nice.
Okay, where's that one actually?
Right here.
Just up. Okay, so someone care to explain?
So here we could actually store all the villagers or farmers temporarily in a single spot. And then since we still had the translocation, you could get them out one by one.
Ah, nice.
Okay, but now we have the, back in 110 we still have the glitch of the
That,
villagers.
yeah, you
So they
can't.
don't
Oh
render
yeah, so
correctly
you,
for
you
me.
can't see them, but they are actually in the minecarts. Yeah, this is a bit of a nuisance, but yeah, so while we still have translocation, of course, it's convenient to use it just for building, but afterwards we don't need at least 200 villagers anymore, but maybe we have to get 1 or 2 to replace something. And yeah, that's quite doable, I would say. I mean, it would also be doable in 1.11, obviously, but would be a bit more tedious. And yeah, so with that, with the villager breeder, and now let's finally take a look at the storage. Oop. Just coming back in here and jumping up. Okay, so at the moment it's set to crafting mode, so we directly get all the outputs here. Basically, if you would stand at the crafting table, you get the wheat all the time. And it's still feasible to do it manually, like to craft a stack of wheat blocks. Ah, now was it hay bales?
Hey,
But
Rebels.
you gotta be pretty fast, so oops. And then we can just dump them in the water stream here. And they go off to the hay bale storage, which is this wall back here. And everything else around here would be the wheat storage if we don't send it to the crafting immediately. And yeah, in case we want to have an overflow, we can also open this, as you've just seen. So let's do this once more. Yeah, here it just drops down to the void and a small safeguard in place. So let me actually get rid of some wheat here. Well, I could actually put it in chests. And as you can see, they're currently quite empty because yeah, we just crafted recently quite a bit more. But this fills up rather quickly. So does anyone of you know how long it takes to fill up the storage?
About 7 hours.
Okay, so if you would AFK here for 1 night, the entire storage here would be filled with wheat.
And
And we would fill quite a bit of the hay bale storage that way. Obviously, this one needs quite a lot more wheat, because, well, there's a factor of 9 in between, so those chests here don't suffice to fill this one up once. But it fills up quite a bit. And I think by now we have quite a few double chests full of hay bales. Yep. So around 5 times 6, 30, 32 and something. Plus the hoppers behind, so quite a nice storage in case we have a need for some hay bales. Yeah, obviously this is just a switch if you want to have it crafting or if you want to send it to the storage. Oh no, sorry, the thing is actually back here. So we switch it, so right now it's just dropping down here and cycling around on the chests. And yeah, then here we send it to the crafting, and if we would send it to the villagers, it would go even further on this line and yeah, just to the breeder that we've just seen.
like this.
So, anything else here? Nothing? Then let's try to shut it down gracefully. And we have one more little candy to show you, which we've forgotten for a long time. And yeah, we'll see you over there. And we're back. Well, just standing in a water stream. The overworld? What? Oh. Leading into a portal and dropping down into some weird machinery. What's happening? Back in another portal? Wait. Oh. Seems like a cycle. Well, that's actually what it is. So, yeah, we've tried to show this a few times already, but we always kept forgetting. So, yeah, this is an Obsidian Farm, which uses the nether portals I generated. So, let me try to get out of here. Ah, perfect. So, what do we have here? We have a portal which is in a slightly glitched state because of those dragon eggs, so yeah, they have some special properties, these kind of portals. Maybe someone wants to explain?
The egg portal basically makes it so you don't get summoned inside the portal, or rather under it. Basically come out of the portal directly under it. Very nice way to get yourself out of the portal. You don't even spawn there.
So this egg portal actually makes sure we don't spawn in the overworld portal, but below it, right?
Yep.
So if we just hop in here, well, normally we would arrive here. Okay, now you can see I didn't spawn in the portal, I spawned in these glass blocks, but if I was already standing in this water stream, I would come out exactly at the spot Mango now just came out. Yeah, just keep walking in there.
Oh,
Or
don't
maybe
go
come through in a
there too
second, yeah.
quickly.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'll-
wait 5 seconds. Okay.
just going through, and yeah, so here we still use a bit of translocation because it's convenient. I'll just step out again. So yeah, basically when we're going back with a regular portal, and the way we set it up is, well, we always come out in this chunk, or in these few chunks. How much is it actually? Like 3 by 3? Anyway, so we would always come out in this area, and what actually happens, the only place that's viable for a portal to spawn is exactly this portal we already have here, and you can see there are just these 2 blocks removed. Then, yeah, the portal lights up because a player comes through, regenerates the obsidian here, and since it doesn't have any other possibility, it always has to be this one portal. Then we have a wither here, which we're just shooting, and it breaks a few blocks around itself, namely those 2 portal blocks here. And yeah, those we then collect with some hopper minecarts here and store it slightly outside this mini perimeter. So maybe someone can demonstrate again. Yeah, here we had it. Some obsidian was dropping, picked up by the hoppers here. Then the player already gets pulled back again. So also down here we can... Oops. Let's try to get a closer look. Do we have a piston that pulls the player out?
No, it's an egg portal, so you get offset.
Ah, okay, it's also an egg portal in the overworld, right? Yeah, so you're slightly offset. You can see it down here, where the player actually spawned on these pressure plates, which then trigger a bunch of pistons to translocate you upwards, and then you get sent back in the other portal. And since the other portal is above bedrock, it's not a viable destination when coming from the overworld. So yeah, that way we can create a cycle here and we get a little bit of obsidian. I think the storage isn't really well filled because it's pretty slow and we haven't been using it too much. But it's at least a nice proof of concept. And I mean, except for the translocation, this would probably still work in 1.11, so... yeah, that's kind of nice thing. Here we just have a bunch of arrows to shoot the wither. But yeah, this lasts for quite a while. As I said, it's fairly slow. So, does someone have the numbers, how much we produce per hour?
It's 300.
So yeah, you can see it's like almost the same speed as mining it, but you can do it fully AFK, so you're just standing there with a player and be done with it. And yeah, so we got at least a little bit of obsidian, make it auto-renewable, and I think it's a pretty nice farm because it's just a different design than what you usually have.
The reason we have this whole area dug out is that the portal can nowhere else generate, only here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's also why you have all the torches here, and yeah, everything's basically spammed with things that aren't replaced by a portal, or that don't allow to generate. Also here on top of these hoppers, that somehow have to lead out to get the obsidian out. We have buttons everywhere which prevent spawning. Well, that's just a minor thing.
And prevents portal generation.
Yeah, it also prevents portal generation. And then this chunk is completely dug out. Quickly make some space, so... yeah, down there we have carpet, or what's that?
Carbon and slime blocks below, yeah.
Ah, okay, so we could actually jump down, but then I would have to fly back up. Let's save on that.
You're also slowed out by the portal generation, so you can only do it every about 20 seconds. Otherwise this wouldn't generate the portal.
Okay, so you couldn't just put 2 players in, which are slightly off sync.
No, can't make it faster.
Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty much all we got from here so far. But I think we've only been using it for a couple hours. So yeah. Bit of a slow farm, but kind of a different concept that I think no one else used so far. At least I'm not aware of it. And yeah, I would say that's it for today. So, any last words?
Bye
Apart
bye.
from the ghast has to die. If not, then yeah, thanks everyone for watching. And have a great holiday. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.